I died on my son Jimmy's 5th birthday. Before I died, Jimmy pushed open my door and saw me lying on the bed. He looked disgusted and said, "Mom, you're so lazy that you even have to sleep on my birthday. You don't love me like Christina does." Jonathan Evans, whom I loved for 8 years, hugged Jimmy and said coldly, "Are you sure you want to cause trouble on Jimmy's 5th birthday? Then sleep here and wait for your death. Christina, and I can also make Jimmy happy today." After saying this, he slammed the door shut. I also closed my eyes forever. The night before Jimmy's birthday, I took out the only dress that Jonathan had given me from the closet with difficulty. In the past 8 years, I hadn't worn it once. At the last moment in my life, I wanted to wear it and take one last photo with Jonathan and Jimmy. Even if in the end, my face in this photo would be cropped out or replaced by Christina's face, at least there was a moment when it belonged to me. My lower abdomen was abnormally bulging due to the tumor, which made my skirt tight and made me look like a pregnant woman. I looked down and suddenly felt relieved. Fortunately, the dress he gave me was fake. If it was the authentic one that Christina wore, I might be unable to wear it. It was almost the end of my span, as the doctor told me. Just putting on the skirt took all my strength. From the living room, I heard Jonathan and Jimmy's surprised shouts. "Christina, you look so beautiful today. I want you to hug me." Jonathan responded helplessly but lovingly, "Okay, I'm not as good as Christina. I picked that skirt for her. I have good taste, right?" Amid the laughter and chatter outside, I suddenly opened the bedroom door. The smiles of them suddenly froze. Jimmy was still young, so he said innocently, "Why is Mom wearing the same clothes as Christina? But it looks so ugly on her. Why doesn't Mom wear lipstick? Mom's face is so ugly." A hint of embarrassment showed Jonathan's eyes, and he nodded apologetically at Christina. He turned to look at me with disgust in his eyes. "Why are you wearing this? Do you have to copy the outfit of Christina? Do you want to embarrass me? Today is Jimmy's birthday, can you not cause trouble? Get back in and change your clothes now. Also, didn't I buy you any makeup? Why do you look like this? It makes me sick just looking at you." My lifeless eyes fell on Christina's dress. It turned out that the authentic one looked so good. It made her skin look so good. But I was so ill that I might not look good no matter what I wore. Seeing me standing there without moving, Jonathan frowned with impatience. "What's wrong with your belly? It's so big. Can't you eat less? Why are you so disgusting after married? Why are you wearing a tight skirt with such a big belly? Do you want everyone to know that you're fat?" Then Jimmy made faces at me. "Mom is so ugly. Christina is prettier." After saying that, he turned around, buried his head in Christina's arms, and acted coquettishly. I looked embarrassed and helpless. Seeing this, Christina spoke up to ease the tension between us. "Today is Jimmy's 5th birthday. For the sake of the child, please stop quarreling. Catherine, how about I help you put on makeup?" When I heard her voice, I shook my head hastily, and my movement was so big that it hurt my chest. But Jonathan snorted and said, "You're so ungrateful." I forced a smile and slowly turned back to the bedroom. Those few steps almost drained all my strength. After closing the door, I squatted on the ground, sweating profusely. My tears and sweat dripped together, and I heard the sound of their chatting outside. "Okay, stop helping her. If you hadn't gone abroad, how could I have married her? I regret it so much now." Christina comforted him softly. "It's okay. Aren't we doing well now? I can still fulfill my promise and stay with you and the child." Jimmy didn't understand what they were saying, but he was laughing. "I just want Christina to accompany me. I don't want my mother." Jonathan sighed helplessly when he heard this. "When I first saw her, she looked exactly like you. I didn't expect that. After we got married, I found she was so much worse than you." They didn't deliberately lower their voices, and Jonathan knew very well that I could hear them. But he didn't care. He never considered my emotions. I could ignore his thoughts, but Jimmy's disgust for me made me feel heartbroken. Even Jimmy thought I was redundant in this family. From the day we got married, I could sense that Jonathan had someone else in his heart. There seemed to be a barrier between us. Everyone said he loved me and was very good to me. He was a rare good man. But I always felt that he was using me to make up for his sorry feelings for another person. He made me grow my hair long and wear long skirts, which I never wore. I even wore high heels. He even bought me makeup that I never used. He just wanted to mold me into someone else. Only after I dressed up as he asked would he show me a loving look, take my hand, and say softly, "I will always love you, and we will never be apart again." I looked at his eyes full of possessiveness and persistence, and listened to his loving words, but I felt disappointed. I didn't tell him that I had seen the pictures he had locked away. The woman in those photos with long hair and makeup was very similar to me. But I didn't expose him but acted with him. Because I loved him and was afraid of losing him. But I went against his ideas more and more often and wanted to be myself more and more. I hoped he would get used to my personality and fall in love with the real me. He was slightly annoyed at first, but he bore it as long as he saw my face. The relationship between us grew better and better until Christina returned after I gave birth to Jimmy. The beautiful love that I had worked so hard for was easily shattered by her. Right after I gave birth to Jimmy, Jonathan took Jimmy to Christina's place every day. The two of them took care of Jimmy's daily life together. I laid in the hospital with no one paying attention to me. As a result, I suffered from postpartum depression. When Jonathan came to visit me, I put the diagnosis in front of him. I begged him, trying to reawaken his love for me. But he just looked at me coldly. Catherine, stop acting. I only asked Christina to help take care of the child. Why do you have to act like this? Since you have mental problems, then let Christina take care of Jimmy from now on. You are not capable to be a mother.